up, Bud Files?
Who we got next, y'all? Alright, have a good one, True Skills. Have a good one, man. Enjoy your day to the fullest. Have a good day. Chill up, both cats and dogs. Cool. Same. Have a great day, though. Yes, still. Yeah, I was talking. There was a troll in the chat. I was talking to a troll block. Hello, Ball Talk makes vlog and music. Shout out to you. Get warm up before we drop into zone. Nah, you good. Yo, True Skills.
Good God, my guy. Like, oh Lord, Jiminy Christmas. Not trying to catch a copyright strike because homeboy's got his music on.
Enemy soldier incoming. Use this time for some target practice. Real thing's coming soon.
What up, Samar? Yo,
Prep time's
yo.
over. Now you deploy
What up,
to the
Fear?
war zone.
Appreciate you stopping in.
Things all here.
What up, Lud?
We got the green light. We're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. You're up in 3. We're cleared hot on all threats. Watch your ass down there.
It's cold as hell.
What up, my boy?
Yeah, shit, man.
I'm glad I noticed your name. You doing good, yo?
Are you been? Hell yeah, you been on the new bro?
Lord, Jiminy Christmas, have you messed with your sensitivity on your controller yet?
Man, I've been man, I tried.
You on a 5,
I had
right?
it good. Yep.
Alright, tap your PlayStation button real quick. Go over to the microphone.
Alright.
Go down to adjust microphone sensitivity. 3 bars from the left.
Yeah.
Lot better. Yeah, you're still loud, but I don't hear the extra stuff in the background on top of you. Now I just hear you.
Alright.
That, and it doesn't sound like your voice is like being overly pushed in the headphones. Now I can actually hear your voice versus a distorted voice because it's being pushed too loud.
Yeah, 'cause you know how the shit set up. It say too low and it say good. I had my setting good.
Oh, dog. I've got my shit 2 bars from left. If I was to turn back up my sensitivity right now, you'd hear my dogs upstairs and my wife yelling at my dogs to get off the bed while she's folding clothes.
Crazy. I ain't even know. You know about the Xbox? You had the fucking camera in that bitch.
Yeah. Let's put it this way.
That was crazy.
Do you have an iOS?
Yeah.
Go find somebody that has a real camera, put it in infrared mode, and then look at the front of your phone. Your phone's going to flash every 5 seconds. They're taking infrared pictures. If you don't believe me, look it up. iPhones
That's why.
take infrared pictures every 5 seconds. There ain't shit you're hiding from that phone.
That's crazy. Cause I remember my homies. They told me don't never get none of these.
Nope, don't. If you
Never
want
get
a
no
phone,
iPhone.
if you want a legit phone and you just want to communicate and text with it, go get you an old Nokia brick. And when you don't want to be located, you can take the battery out of that phone. When you think your phone's off, it's not off. It can still be located. Prime example, if you have a car that has a radio in it that you can Bluetooth to, when you turn that car off, walk inside your house, turn your Bluetooth on, and your Bluetooth will pick up your car. That's off. It's not off, you just don't know it's on. I could turn on my Bluetooth right now and connect to my car outside that's not on right now. If you really want to see what phones are really capable of doing, look up a gentleman named Edward Snowden.
I heard of that. I heard of his name.
He released this type of information back in 2012, 2013. He is wanted by the federal government for espionage. He told a reporter that there was a cell phone contract with a company of cell phones, or there was a contract with a cell phone company, and the cell phone company was giving metadata, your location, who you're texting, when you're texting, where you're texting, who you're around, what phones are around you, to the U.S. government.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they gotta get that shit to the police.
I don't think you understand me. They don't have to. The government says, give me this information, otherwise you are not allowed to do business in our country. And the company goes, ooh, here's your information. Let's put it this way.
Oh yeah.
If you have cameras, security cameras, and you don't have an internal storage space on your property, none of the cameras, you can keep the camera video. If, say
I know what you talking about. I used to do that.
say you,
With the GoPros and shit.
no, say you do something like Ring camera, and you pay for a Ring doorbell. That camera on that doorbell, the video is being downloaded to their servers. You don't have control of their servers, do you? That's their company stuff because you're paying for their plan and for them to store your information, correct? Which means you gave up.
Somebody's stuff.
Yeah, which means you gave up
They can do
all
that.
authorization as soon as you signed the contract.
Yeah, so that's right. I had a machine. A fucking right. If you sign a contract on my life, all that shit come to me. All type of shit. Address, everything.
Well, put it this way. Do you have a TikTok account?
Oh.
Do any of your friends have a TikTok account?
Yeah. I used
Okay.
to.
Let me explain it real quick. Okay? Let's say your friend, by having a TikTok account, the terms of service of TikTok state, okay, and he or your friend agreed to this, okay, TikTok is allowed to sense any device around that person's device. And if they see that your device does not have TikTok, they are allowed, with his approval, to jump onto your device and log in his TikTok on your device and copy every file on your phone, computer, laptop, tablet, anything it connects to, and resend all of those documents, back to TikTok. So if you know somebody who has TikTok, there's not a computer, laptop, or fucking cellular device that's safe around that person at all, period. And these are in TikTok terms of service. So as soon as you agree to TikTok, you agreed to let TikTok jump on every device around you and copy every single bit of information that's ever around you.
Yeah. I read that shit in the TikTok thing. I deleted everything off my phone when I had to get a new phone.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what you also allowed TikTok to do. You created you created a digital ID. Okay? Now your digital ID that's associated with that email account that you probably logged back into is being tracked by TikTok. When you delete a Facebook account, that Facebook account still has the identifying information for that phone you're on. It still has the EIN number for the phone. It's still tracking you. And it will track you for up to 2 years, even after you delete Facebook.
You know, all that shit, you can hide that shit, you know?
Dude, there's so much shit I know right now. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Do you know what your credit score is right now?
I said 6.
With a 600 credit score, I could have a couple grand in your bank account. And within 2 weeks, you could be sitting on 50 G's. 40 G's.
You can help me, man, please.
Hey, pay attention to me real quickly. Okay? You need to go to Spotify. Create you an artist account. Start up a business artist account. An artist profile. Okay, once you get that set up and it's registered that you have that, you also need to go to DistroKid and pay for that service. It's about 40 or 50 bucks for a year. It'll give you, quote, a registered record label. Then you take that record label and you go to your local bank. You ask to start a business account. They're going to run your credit to see what kind of credit you have, to see what they can base the business on. Okay? When you get the business account up and running, you ask them for an SBA loan. It's a $5,000 small business startup loan. Okay? They are required by law, federal law, to give small businesses loans. Required. Okay? Once you do that, you get the SBA loan. What up, Dwayne? Appreciate you stopping in, my guy. You take that 5 G's and you immediately take a grand of the 5 G's and you put it into that business account. And then you take that 4 grand and tell them you want to start a 7A loan. It is a secured loan. You must put 10% down in order to get this loan. Okay? With the additional 4 grand that you have, you take that 4 G's and you put it up as collateral for 10% of the loan. Well, if you're putting in 4 grand for the loan, you're going to get 40 grand back. Then you take $5,000 of the initial $40,000 that you just got, and you pay off the initial $5,000 business loan. Now you got $35,000 in your hands, and a paid-off business loan inside of 2 weeks. Then you get into the credit codes, and you figure out how to negate things from your credit. You call up each company, Experian, Equion, or TransUnion, and Equifax. You pause all of your credit reporting abilities. You pause them. You update your new address. And then you wait a little bit. And anything that pops up on your credit report, you ask them to validate the debt. If they cannot validate the debt by showing you purchasing, how they got assigned the debt, how did they get the debt, and if they purchased the debt because they're a debt collection company, you don't owe that debt no more. They purchased it. They paid for it. Now they're trying to get you to pay for it. Well, they already paid for it. You don't need to. Once they paid for it, it's no longer your debt. I would highly recommend, if you have an Instagram account, to pull up Instagram real quick and type in path, 2, freedom. And I would start doing research, my G. And I mean hella research. I could probably give you 4 or 5 codes right now that if you have shitty credit, you get these things removed from your credit report. And if they don't remove them from your credit report, you can issue them a letter that states that they have to. And if they call you about not removing things from your credit report, you issue them another letter. This letter is a U.S. code that says, willful negligence for civil non-compliance. It's a $1,000 code that you can issue to the credit bureau for not pulling stuff off your credit report. And every time you issue the letter, it's $1,000 they have to pay. I'll just let that sink and sit there with you, my G.
Hey, what's the thing you said? Path to freedom?
Path to freedom. PATH, 2, freedom.
Lady has the picture?
Say again?
Lady has a picture?
I didn't hear the first part of that, my G. I'm sorry.
A lady as the picture.
Yeah, she's sitting on a horse. Okay, here's the actual channel name. Path, PATHS 2, FRDM 2022. And the image icon should be fiery with a lady in all black sitting on an all black horse. And it's got some white lettering on it. Paths to Freedom 2022. And you're going to realize that the life that you know, legally speaking, is ass backwards. Like, this is going to sound absolutely retarded. Where does money come from? And this one's just for giggles. If you actually know the question or the answer, by all means. If you don't know, just by all means. I'm just here to help understand.
I think money comes from trees.
Damn. You are sadly mistaken, my G. Money comes from banks and the Federal Reserve. If the last 4 stimulus checks hasn't taught you anything, that the U.S. government can print money out of thin air. If you were to Google how much wealth was printed in the last 4 years, you're going to shit yourself, my guy. We have spent more money in the last 4 stimulus checks than World War I and World War II combined in just one of the last stimulus checks.
That's crazy. I really believe. Cause when I used to get my drones, go around the world, I used to see motherfucking countries down and shit. I thought they was making money.
If you were to Google, am I a person legally speaking, and you click on a cornell.law.edu and you read the definition for person, you're going to shit yourself, my guy.
It's a different word. Wait, so you telling me it's a different definition for person?
Like I said, what you know to be your life, legally speaking, is backwards. Legally speaking, a person is an LLC, a corporate entity.
Heard of this.
Do you have a company? I don't have a company. Legally speaking, I am not a person. And it sounds absolutely retarded until you start looking at the codes. The codes will tell you everything you need to know.
Just like in Forex.
Say again?
Same shit. Just like in Forex. You know, Forex AI trading.
I don't mess
You
with
ain't got
AI
the
traders.
codes. You ain't got the codes. Shit, you ain't gonna make no money. You ain't gonna learn shit.
Well, let's just put it this way. I'll whip out this code real quick so that way you know exactly what I'm speaking is absolute. Okay? You'll be able to look up this code just like I'm about to tell you this code. Let me go down here. Let me make sure I'm giving you the correct one. Uniform commercial code, advertising, down payments and installments. Validation of debt. Matter of fact, here's one of them. You know, I told you with the credit people, you ask them to validate the debt. The code is 15 USC 1692G. If you have a debt collector calling your phone, answer the phone.
Oh, yeah,
Tell
say
them
that code again.
15 USC 1692G. Well, stop barking, little girl. Validation of debts. And if you click on the cornell.edu, What is the Cornell School of Law? Cornell is on the
Oh.
scale of Harvard. When you start getting into these codes, oh, and here's the code for the one thing that I told you was the $1,000 letter. You just have to figure out how to properly arrange the letter, okay? But here's the code. 15 USC 1681N. Civil liability for willful non-compliance. If you have a debt,
USC.
1681N, like as in November, N. Just to throw it out there, I'll speak it. In the case of liability of a natural person for obtaining a consumer report under false pretenses or knowingly without permission propose actual damages sustained by the consumer as a result of the failure or $1,000, whichever is greater. So if you have a bill, they purchased it, now they're harassing you for the money that they've already paid for, you send them this letter. And you say, according to this code, you guys own this, and because you guys keep coming after me, you guys purchased that debt. I no longer owe it. You take that up with the original contract person. And they can't because the person that originally had the contract threw your contract out when they sold the debt. So the original contract cannot be found. If they cannot find the original contract with your signature on it, they cannot prove that they rightfully own the debt. And if they cannot prove they rightfully own the debt, you do not owe it. That's like somebody randomly coming up, like a crackhead walking up to you and going, hey man, you owe me 50 G's. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And when they don't listen and they call you back, you issue them another letter. But when you send the letter, you send it return receipt. They have to sign for it. And every time you get a return receipt, that's a $1,000 check to yourself. And if they don't stop fucking with you, you just keep billing them. And if they don't pay the bill, you report the entire company to the Better Business Bureau that they have a bill, according to United States Code, that they say you owed this, and you didn't. Because they couldn't prove that that was your debt, because they couldn't produce the original contract with your name on it. This is how people fuck up.
Are you gonna have to work with me with it?
Oh man, I am, dog. If everything works out, I will teach you all the shit I know. Everything.
Yeah, man, I need to get lit, man. I need to get out of my mama's house, man.
Well, I put it to you like this. I could teach you how to go to a dealership. I'd have to speak with somebody else to make sure I'm passing correct information. Okay? But you could go to the dealership, put $500 down on a car, and within 48 hours, hand that dealership some paperwork. You'll get the car for free. You got to hide it for 20 days. And you only paid $500 for the car.
Any guy?
Doesn't matter what kind of car it is. If they require you to put a down payment, it's fraud.
Okay.
Okay. Matter of fact, here we go. Hold on. I was just looking at that.
I'm gonna go get my notebook and shit.
Oh, dog, I got all sorts of shit for you. All right. Let me scroll back up here. Where is it? All right. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and just in case you don't catch all of this, my G, you come to YouTube and listen. Just in case you want to come back to this conversation, I am live right now.
Okay. I didn't even know you be streaming and shit. I've been trying to get into that shit.
Oh man, you just hit my name on YouTube, player. That's all you gotta do. By the time you type in the SKI, I will drop down in the drop down menu.
Just drop that in the chat, SKI.
TRUSKI, and I will drop down in the drop down menu, guaranteed. But here's the one for down payments. If they require you to have a down payment in order to make the purchase of the car, 15 USC 1662. 15 USC 1662. No advertising to aid, promote, or assist, direct or indirectly, any extension of consumer credit may state that a specific periodic consumer credit amount or installment amount can be arranged unless the creditor usually customarily arranges credit payments or installments for that period in that amount. If they ask you to put a down payment down, it is against federal law. And if they will not allow the contract to continue without the down payment, they are actively committing fraud. The Truth in Lending Act, there's two other acts that you have to quote inside of this, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can throw out, and like literally it just starts melting shit. And if you do it correctly, all just the floodgates open, my G. I see that would be you hopping on there right there. I put it this way. If what I state helps you out in any way, if you feel like any type of way of chucking me anything, my Cash App is my name. If everything works
Well,
out, that's all on you. Let's say everything I'm
I
telling you is 100% truth, right? And you get up out your mama's house. If you feel like chucking me $50 for helping, I'd appreciate that. I'm not going to say it's mandatory.
man, you know
I'm
I got you. You know you
I,
help me do.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna throw you something. You know I ain't no goofy. I'm gonna keep it. I'm
I
gonna
hear
make
you.
sure your eye just like me.
I hear you. All right, let's get some killing going. What you want to do? Quads, plunder.
Yeah, plunder, you know.
All right, quads. It'll go. Let's see what we got here. We got people that actually got voice. Oh, did it kick me or did it take you? Join in game session. I see a screen. You still here, Lud? Oh, why did it freeze? Oh, come on. I can't even back out. Ugh.